Connect with Scimplify. They have raised about $9.5 million from investors. Let's connect with Sachin Santosh, who's the co-founder, now joining in. Good to have you on board. Can you explain a little bit more about Scimplify, what these proceeds of $9.5 million will go toward?
Sure. So Scimplify is a science-first platform for specialty chemicals manufacturing. We are a full-stack platform that does everything from doing the R&D to develop technologies to manufacturing these in our plants and then to scale it up in terms of distribution all over the world. Right. And about the funds that we've raised in our Series A, we've raised $9.5 million. Primarily, we'll be investing this into the space of scaling up our R&D setup, as well as, building demand teams in new geographies where we want to expand.
Right. So what exactly is your clientele in terms of your profile? Can you walk us through the growth guidance? Is there any that you've laid out?
So in terms of the profile, we work across 4 segments. We are in the pharmaceutical, agrochemical, flavors and fragrances, as well as industrial chemical segments, primarily focusing on pharma and agro. Within these, we typically work with large enterprises which are buying formulations or APIs from smaller factories in the market today. So that becomes an ideal customer profile for us. In terms of growth, last 8 months has been pretty good for us. We've seen about a 10x growth in revenue. Over the next 1 year, we are planning to go to at least 3x from where we are standing at today as in August.
And how big is the chemical industry when it comes to growth in this segment for the company?
Overall, if you look at the specialty chemicals market worldwide, it's a $800 billion market. And in the India perspective, it is a $50 billion market. So, this is one of those unique opportunities where India is the one that is really growing the fastest. The India market is expected to double in the next 3 to 5 years.
Now, experts also talk about how a proper integration in the supply chain management will solve problems for Indian chemical players, and that will not only benefit larger players, but there will be scope for smaller players as well. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I think definitely the larger players will be benefiting significantly because this is a regulated industry which requires the larger players also to step up and build that confidence in terms of bringing India forefront and to be able to compete with other larger markets like China. However, that said, today, if you look at the output of India, that is only 30% that is driven by the larger players. So still 70% of the market is done by small to mid-sized players. And this will continue to remain in roughly that ballpark. And the reason for that is that the manufacturing is very, very chemistry specific. So it is not easy for a large player to quickly expand across chemistries. And hence there will be a scattered supply of smaller factories, which is what Scimplify is trying to sort of organize and formalize for a large enterprise sitting in a developed market to be able to access.
And do you think that the chemical industry in any way is still under pressure due to the Chinese imports, especially within this segment, or has it bottomed out due to the higher anti-dumping duties by the Indian government?
Yeah, so the segment in terms of anti-dumping, etc., is largely pertaining to bulk chemicals. I would say that is a cycle that there are much better macroeconomists who can comment on that. Specifically in the context of Scimplify and what we have been focusing on, high value, low volume products, which are specialty and fine chemicals. These are, let's say, pharma intermediates, APIs, etc. So these molecules are generally more supply driven. It is more R&D driven in terms of the technologies that you develop. So it's not simply a matter of bulk production and dumping in the country. India has been a leader in this. We've had more than I would say at least a 25% market share in terms of APIs, intermediates for the generic space, where we work on off-patent molecules and we are scaling them up in these smaller factories that are there. So I think that continues to be our strength, and that is what we are doubling down on.
All right, good to interact with you. Thank you for joining in.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.